Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I just did the read for this audience. It's more of a general read as opposed to guided right at the masculine or feminine. You might want to check it out. It was very interesting today. Moses wanted to come in, and so there was a lot of the Jewish angle here coming in as far as the wounds. So it's definitely a different perspective. You might want to check it out. So I have the oracle cards here. I might actually pull a couple extra cards from my French decks. I might not be able to interpret them as possible, but you can always, if someone knows the French, they can always put it in the comments. Or I just want you to get the energy from those cards, because I don't usually use those decks. So we're going, again, Moses is being called in here today. That's what I was guided to before I even did the read this morning. And then it came up a whole bunch of information about that. So. Alright, so today is April 27, 2019. For everyone watching and the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear and align and fill with only beautiful organic diamond light. God, please armor us all with your love. Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and reality for the highest good of all those concerned. Clearing and filling with only beautiful organic love and diamond light, please. Okay, so Moses. So for everyone watching the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know, what do we need to learn? What is your guidance? Moses. Messing with me. He likes numbers, I guess. He's giving me a lot of numbers to count. The bottom of the deck is Archangel Metatron's cloak. Okay, so this again is the 51 is the King of Swords, which is the read ended on the King of Swords. I stand in my power and lead others forward. Archangel Metatron's cloak, and Metatron definitely came up in the read today. Again, it came up yesterday too. So the first card we have from Moses is the Amethyst Skull. Number 21, of completion, the world. Achievement. During the golden era of Atlantis, each of the high priests and priestesses, you all, of the 12 tribes fashioned a crystal skull that was an advanced computer and programmed it with knowledge and wisdom held by their tribe. All the information was placed into the Amethyst Master's skull, which is kept safely in the inner planes. Receiving this card suggests you look for the highest perspective in a situation that presents itself to you. Explore the details, and then, when you have all the facts, take decisions with wisdom and integrity. So that goes in line with don't react. Alright? Because that's then your judgment, your pride as a human coming through, as opposed to pulling back, assessing the situation, getting all the facts, and then taking a decision with wisdom and integrity. The affirmation is I explore all the information before I take a decision. Alright? And this is a very, it's funny, coming from Moses. It's a very, the Jewish religion feels to me, I wasn't raised Jewish, but of course I was a Jew growing up. And then of course my friends who were religious. The Jewish religion seems to be much more practically based as opposed to spiritually, religiously based. So this makes a lot of sense coming from Moses. So it's about being logical. You know, it's very much about the man's perspective and education. So this is the first card out. And yeah, I'm thinking of Yentl too. So if you haven't seen it with Barbra Streisand, that was a great movie. Okay, so the second two cards that came up were Saint Germain and Earth. So I'll show them each so you can read them on the screen. I'm not going to read them all. That's number 14 of the Temperance. I don't know if you got to see the lower words, but okay. And then Saint Germain, who's of transmutation. Okay. So Earth is 14 of the Temperance card, Patience and Balance, which came up very much so in the read today. And then 34 of the 8 of Wands which is about expressing your feelings and back and forth. Don't react, don't express them right away. You can certainly have like nice heated exchanges, but it's when you are really triggered to react, it's about holding back until you're able to see it from another perspective, from a more calm place, a more informed place. All right, so we have the 34, the 14, and the 21. Saint Germain and Earth. And now I'm getting to, yesterday it came up, the tunnel between Egypt and Hollow Earth. So I'm getting that again. It's just all about grounding and transmutation. So important right now. Not so much to go etherically, but to ground. But to go into Akashic Records if you need to. It's about doing shadow work as well right now. That's why the amethyst skull is coming up. And amethyst is coming up. I don't usually get that when I look at that card, but use your amethyst to clear as well. So we have a whole bunch more cards that he pulled out for me. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have another pile of 5, and then 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have 5, 2, and 10, and you notice 5 times 2 is 10. He's very logical and practical. It's about being well educated. Know all your facts and bring that together with your spiritual knowing before then you respond to your situation. So that's what he's trying to bring across. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 10. 1, 2, 5, 2, 10. I'm getting King Tut. King Tut. I don't know if he's trying to be funny. 1, 2, 5, 2, 10. So 1 of the masculine, 2 of the feminine, 5 of the expansion, and then go back to the feminine energy to transmute the expansion, and then go back to your 10 of the high vibration, all right? That's the process I'm getting. 1, 2, right? So you can go 0 to 1 is the closest to 0 point, but then you can go 1 to 2 from the masculine to feminine energy. Then when you get triggered or expanded, use the feminine energy to transmute those energies in order to get back to your high vibration of the 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. 1, 2, 5, 2, 10. So, and if you add them all, that's 20. 3, 8, 9, 10, yep. So now we have the judgment. Okay, and there's very much about judgment coming up between yesterday and today. But judgment is just about making a final decision. Just don't make those final judgments until you've weighed everything in. And remember, it's about, judgment is about making your decisions, not making decisions for other people or judging them, because that's their decision, not yours. That's what they mean when they say not to be judgmental, because you can't live without making a judgment, because you have to decide every day for yourself. You're allowed to make judgments for yourself, but you're not supposed to make judgments for others, because you're infringing upon their free will, including giving them help. They may not want that help, so always ask if someone wants your help before infringing upon their space. Like space invaders. Don't invade their space. Each person is sovereign. They have a right to their own energy, who comes into that energy and who walks out of that energy, and what they're willing to give and receive. So he wants to bring this in because it's a very balanced way of being, which and the Spirit's connecting with me. It's making me want to cry, which is why you always hear you want a Jewish husband, because they are taught their feminine side. Okay, it's very beautiful, actually. That's why he makes a good husband, because he expresses his masculine and his feminine. Okay, so there's a really beautiful message there about that, and holds back judgment for wise administration. Right? Yeah. Thank you. I'm also getting that the downside of being a good husband, right, is that you're always being called a wimp, like you're not a real man, right? So Moses wanted that to come up as well. The two sides of the coin, because there's always the light and the shadow. All right, so now we have the past life deck, guys. Take a deep breath. For this April 27, 2019, for everyone watching, and the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? Moses, what is your perspective? And how is that different from other masters I've called? What is your guidance, Moses? Okay, not sure what this message is, but we'll have cards again. All right, so bottom of the deck for Moses. We have finances reversed. Okay. So immediately what I'm getting is, in the law of attraction, in order to bring in finances, you have to let go of worrying about finances. And he's saying this is why the Jewish people learned to accumulate money. Because when they went through the Holocaust, they understood the importance of life. And that it wasn't about money, it was about the love of the family. And that's what kept them going, and Spirit's connecting with me very strongly. It's about, we're always taught, you're taught to focus on what's the positive going on in your life right now, to not worry about money. We'll always get by. When you've gone through the Holocaust, it's a very big lesson. You've survived the Holocaust. You come and teach your family, don't worry, the money. As long as we have each other, it's good. So this is the lesson he wants to bring to you. And there... He had me put out 6 single cards, all right, to show you how important it is, the love, each member of your family. It's just all about love. And then the funny part is the opposite side of the coin, as the Jews learned this lesson so harshly, and this is why they were able to be stable. But then people saw them as greedy and mongering, when it wasn't about that at all. It was just about the love for their family. And so that is why we have the 30 pieces of silver in reversed. Okay? Because they will not betray their children and their family. But remember too, there's a lesson in this, because we're coming away from this. Because even if that love is so true and beautiful, it's not about surviving and living in the guilt of what happened. It's about living in your joy to who you are, the spirit that God gave you to come in and experience in this world. It's not about for you to sacrifice your spirit for the other spirits in your family. It's about to work together in love. And if you don't resonate anymore, sometimes you need to walk away from each other. That is the love. All right, so we have that as the underlying energy. No betrayal of the ones you love. So we have 6 cards he wanted to bring out here. I'll show you them separately, and then I'm going to look at them together. Okay, so we have spirituality and religion reversed. Then we have baby upright. I'm the baby, gotta love me. Then we have persecution and inquisition upright. Okay, and this is very much about the Holocaust, okay? Then we have food and hunger. Okay, also very understood from the Holocaust because of all the starvation. Then we have Native American. Okay? That they understand how to use what we've been given from the earth. Our birthright is Mother Earth. Learn to use what comes naturally. So it's not just about the earth and the Native Americans and their understanding on how to use nature and what's been given to us. What's been given to you spiritually, your talents. Learning to nurture these things and use them. Okay, so the final card 6 is about vows. Okay, your vow to yourself. Right? Her thinking about herself. What is she learning from what she's watching? What are the vows to myself and being authentic to me? What's going to make me happy in my life, and how can I be a good person in that? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, there's in the pile that he had me pull aside from that, there's 12 cards plus 6. So we have 12 and 6 for 18. So 12, of course, is wisdom, and as Moses saying, be the logical man and see all perspectives of the situation. So it's not just about spirituality, it's not just about the logic, it's bringing the masculine and the feminine together as one and using both for the most wisdom. Through the 12 and then the 18, so the wisdom of the logic of the masculine and the 18 of the emotions and the spiritual connection of the feminine. To use what comes naturally to you to the highest benefit of all. And that's why a matchmaker was coming up yesterday, and tradition was just coming up now, but master of the house was coming up, which brought up the tradition. Who had the best intentions of bringing together the two who seemed to have the most in common, and how would their coming together, the combination of them, benefit the whole, the family, the community. There were always good intentions behind it. But that takes away the free will of the individual and someone else choosing your mate, which should never be the case. Nobody knows your truth but you. Nobody can know what's best for you except for you. And so if you allow them to make your decisions for you, you're giving away your birthright. So the message here, he's saying to let go of the spirituality and religion. It's never one or the other. It's just about the light and the love and the family. Don't forget your little children. They can't survive without you. Some are not meant to stay together, but the children will always be bonded to both of you, so always make sure that happens. Even if you don't get along with each other anymore, that doesn't mean the baby can't get along with both of you, and that you shouldn't both be caring for that child. I'm bringing up the persecution and inquisition of children being taken away from their parents for whatever reason it is. For a child that's too young to have been having sex and they didn't want anyone to know, so their parents give away their child for adoption. For any slave or prisoner whose child's been taken away from them. I'm getting that the greatest wronging you can do to someone is to take a child away from their mother. Or for a mother to turn away from her child. But even if the mother turns away from her child, it is not for us to judge. It is her learning. Okay? So this has to do with being persecuted for abortion and all that kind of thing. It's not for us to judge another person. You know, you take yourself back to, you know, a child in an abusive home, okay, who wants to save their own life and knows if this gets out, that they will be killed. You know, there's all sorts of circumstances in this world. You can't put yourself in the other person's shoes. And even if this person is in the ideal life, it's still not your place to choose. This is their life. It's their connection to God, to the collective consciousness, and this is their experience that they're experiencing for the whole. Okay? Because when you connect to the collective consciousness, you're each a piece of that, learning from each other. And we each come here to learn that experience and add it to the whole database of our knowing. So it elevates us all. But knowing just as we are all one, and why the mother and child bond was brought up, is that ultimately, yes, we are all one. So how can we all be one if you walk away from your child who has the closest bond to you? And it's not that people can't walk away from their children. It's people denying their children. And none of us are to judge. I've done things I shouldn't do too. So I don't want you to judge me for what I've done wrong. We've all made mistakes in our lives. It's about accepting ourselves and accepting others, no matter what their choice is, knowing the energy automatically rebalances things out. It's also bringing up in relation to this food and hunger. So the situations that come in the Holocaust, where children were taken from their parents and there was starvation. Giving away your child for a better life because you can't take care of them. Maybe you're starving yourself, and so the best thing you can do for your child is give them to another family so that they can feed them, if you can't find that for yourself. So there's so many different situations here. When you're hungry, you don't think about anything but your hunger. And that goes for anything. Your hunger, your drive, whatever it is that you're hungry for. It is natural to you. You're human. When you're put in different situations, whether it's survival or being in a very comfortable place where you can learn to manifest your dreams or not. It's all your choice. Your vow, your only vow is to yourself. And to know what your options are, to know that the earth, the natural things here are here, put here for you, for your comfort. For you not to be stressed. To keep your stomach with food and clean water. And not feel guilty and shame. I'm getting from Moses the division of people because of religions. And it's not to say that religion isn't good and doesn't help people, because it does. But it also tells you how to be, which you should be only allowing yourself to tell yourself. That it causes division, it causes prejudice, it causes people to come to war with each other. This is the problem with religion. When we're all praying to the same God, religion just breaks us all down. When we can't see past our own backyard. The bottom of the group that I had to count, which was 12, And at the bottom of the 12 is wisdom reversed. It is not wise to kick a horse when he's down. I want you to really look at this card because I want you to see the beauty in this card. Look how beautiful this is. It's so pure and beautiful. It's just, there's so much love and wisdom in this card. And when you turn it in reverse, all you see is the sadness in his eyes. Okay? When you're sad, you can no longer see from many perspectives. You can only see from your tunnel vision. It's like the horse with the blinders on, okay? When you're sad, you can't make wise decisions because you can only see from your own perspective, your emotional perspective. And this is coming from the Jewish man, the logical man. The reason why we have to detach from our emotions at times to make wise decisions, to use our emotions in connection with our spiritual self, to then come out and see the facts around it that we've learned from our logical mind, to then make the decision. That is wisdom. So now we have the journey of love. Take another deep breath. And that is why he's letting me put some of my 2 cents in. Some of my brain as opposed to just my channeling of him. Okay, so again, it is April 27, 2019. For everyone watching and the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Moses, what is your guidance? He's saying, and most of all, patience. Patience, my children. Knowing without knowing is at the bottom of the deck. It's that buttercup yellow. 41 is the Ace of Cups. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. I have a lot to count here. We have 1 card and 1 card, and then some to count. We have 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 22 flipped up too. So there's 24 cards. So again, that's the Queen of Wands. And 24 is also a mega. It's the end of karma. And at 20, we got to 22 of 24. 22 is 24. He's pretty funny. And that's the space between the words. The space between the words, what you don't see. Like if you don't look at all the facts, there may be something that you don't see. The space between the words. Coming together, the bottom is 66 again, which is the Queen of Pentacles, which came up before. Whether here or in the read that I just did for you guys. So the Queen of Wands, they just brought up the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, you know, representing the karmic third energy and the divine feminine. So the first card that came out, and again, the 22 flipped up in counting the 24 cards. So here we have 22, the Fool, loving all that is. The Fool has a perpetually open heart and always trusts to take that leap of faith. The other card that came up here is 34, Becoming. And this is really beautiful, the pastel colors here. It's the light blues and greens and yellows and oranges. The becoming is the journey. It's 34, which is the 8 of Wands, is expressing your feelings, allowing the heated exchange to allow other people their perspective and have fun with it as opposed to fighting. I was getting to add the 2, and it adds up to 56, which is the 2 of Swords, when you put these two together. And 2 of Swords is that being in your knowing. Loving all that is and becoming is just the journey, appreciating every step of the way. Being in your knowing, always trusting and having faith. So we have 2 cards there, and then 3 more were pulled. I'm not going to read all these, but I'll show you these 3 here. Alright, so we have the Ancient Ones, and then we have the Devotion to the Small, which I'm not sure what that is. And then we have the Dance of the Planets, number 56, which is just what I was told to add to that. He likes to do that. He's showing you how the 22 came up twice, and now he just showed you how the 56 came up twice. Double checking. Double check your facts before you make a decision, alright? So people make false assumptions. That's definitely coming up about the journey between the masculine and the feminine. So the Devotion to the Small is 32 of the Journeyman. 52 is the Queen of Swords. So the King of Swords came up and the Queen of Swords here. Devotion to the Small, which is the journey, seeing the flowers along the way, and then Dance of the Planets, the 56, being in your knowing. And again, this was like, this is when Linda McCartney came in, as the picture of Linda and Paul is in a record. Right? Holding hands and dancing. The Ancient Ones, Devotion to the Small. Protect the vulnerable. Protect your planet. Protect yourself and your knowing. So that's 5 plus the 24. So 29. And that's the 3 of Wands, which is just about staying present, ever present, at 0 point. Alright, so let's see what these guys say here. Alright, Loving All That Is, 22, and then 34. It's nice to get a feel for the different energies, because I've never connected with Moses before. And it's kind of like a Thoth energy in a way, but different. I don't know how to explain it. He's not, Thoth is more of a jokester, and Moses is more, reminds me more of my dad, because my dad he's very dry. And when we were at a restaurant or something, he'd say something to the waitress to be funny, and she would have no idea that he just made a joke. And that's kind of what I'm getting from Moses. That it's more about, he likes the synchronicities, and showing me how to double check, and how he paralleled numbers and things. He likes the puzzle. That's what I'm getting. Alright, is that right? I'm sure I'm not explaining you in all your glory, but I'm sure you'll let me know when there's something you want to say. So loving all that is. You wise awakened being, you can love all that is. You can love your tears and your sadness, for they are a testament to your open heart. You can love your numbness and fatigue, for they show that you have worked hard and are now in need of rest. You can love your energy and passion, even when you are so far ahead of the pack that you have to wait a while for everyone else to catch up. Maybe a day, maybe a decade or so, because you choose not to curb your enthusiasm for anyone. You can love your anger because underneath its fire is a desire for respect. And you can love your peacefulness because within your heart, you really don't care much for fighting sometimes. If there's something that is shaming you, worrying you, challenging you, it's okay to just love it. It will make sense when it needs to. Until then, just love it. Even when it hurts, for it's part of your own divine nature awakening. It may be just like a painful cramp happening because it's been curled up for too long. This oracle brings you a sweet message. You're just asked to love. Everything else will take care of itself. A state of being, allowing, receiving, becoming one with all that is. And then we have becoming, number 34. And I want to bring in, since all the Jewish stuff came up, and the Jewish mother of shame and guilt, it's very much the energy today about learning to let go of the need for guilt and shame. That you don't need to live your whole life in the shadow of the Holocaust or in the shadow of other tragedies that have just happened. The fire in France or whatever it is. There's no need to live the tragedy for the rest of your life. You're just feeding into the fire of negativity. So you're perpetuating what happened. Is to recognize, remember the life of the people that you lost, the joy and the happiness they brought you, the oneness of us. So the becoming is, yes, you are manifesting your divine purpose. Yet what is happening now is just one of many inspired brushstrokes on the canvas of your life's work. You are the artist who paints with trust, instinctive and spontaneous, with faith in the process unfolding. You are not the painter using numbered squares, who has a finished vision even before commencing the task, with a map for all the steps of the journey. Your lack of plan renders you open and receptive to divine direction. And I'm losing my voice, because when you do that, you're allowing someone else to make your decisions for you. And I'm really losing my voice completely here. Okay, it's reiterating. When you allow someone else to make your decisions for you, you lose your voice. Your lack of plan renders you open and receptive to divine direction. You are capable of being moved by spirit. You are a brave adventurer. So celebrate what you are creating now and realize it's a step in your major work of divine art, this life of yours, not to be planned, but to be experienced. Stroke after stroke, step after step, you shall witness the picture coming to life. It may not be what you expected, but it will be the most beautiful, extraordinary creation. This oracle brings you comfort that you are blossoming, and each petal unfolding is another step closer to your ultimate divine fulfillment. There is a message here, too, that a relationship or project that you're keen to move forward will bloom in its own unique way. Give it breathing room and be willing to let it become what it seeks to be. Even without a clear direction or plan, sometimes even because of that, there is an inner plan that can come to fruition. And the poem reads, "Take heed, my friend, for time is ticking fast. Illusion grand and hopes this dream will last. Such memories we keep for days to come. A looking glass that only shows what's done. It would be sad to think there's nothing more, a well-worn path reflecting what's in store. God's gift was not that days would be the same. Each dawn's first light would sing a fresh refrain. Of light and cloud to bathe the earth's surprise, with change of foot to stop would be unwise. A palette rich awaits the artist's brush, creating life at one with God's soft touch." Okay? So don't be afraid to draw outside the lines and create your beautiful divine work of art. I also want to pull just real quickly, because I am running long today. I have a French deck here. I'll just do one today since it's going so long. This is Famille d'Âme. So it's the family of souls, this card deck. And I bought it in France when I was in the south of France. It's one of my special decks. So let's see if we can figure out the message. All right, Moses, can you deal with the French deck? What is our guidance from this deck, this April 27, 2019? For everyone watching and the best in high school to always concerned, what do you need to know? What do you need to learn, Moses? He's saying, oy vey, I'm only going to read the one card out. But we have, I'll count the rest. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is 27, I'll tell you that much. It's Le Guerrier, the Gardens of the Soul's Mission. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 plus 1, 10 altogether. So the 9 of the compassion and the 1 of the magician make 10, the high vibration. 1 and 10, 9 and 1 are very powerful. So the card that came out for you guys, which I love this. So take a look at the design and what does it bring for you? It's just 3939, the Knight of Cups. He offers his love to all. It was just 3944, and 44 is mastering that. This is number 13, the transformation, and it's the alchemist. fairies. The fairies of the alchemist. Let's see if I wrote anything. I happened to write something on this page. Let's see. I may not have, so we may be out of luck. But either way, it's about the alchemist, the magician. And it's 13 of the transformation. Let's see. They're like separated in colors. So where's the red? There's the blue. There's the red. So this is the fairies, the alchemist fairies. But I haven't translated that page. Oh, this is very interesting. It's talking about if you want to open a door, right? It's kind of that, it's like, well, it's the world, it's transformation. If you want to open a door, you have to close one behind you. So let me know in the comments if there's anything you got from this card, okay? Okay. I think that was it. Make sure you drink your water and rise and be loved, guys. Oh, yeah, make sure to exercise because that keeps coming up in the read, okay? Is there anything else? Get your rest, and if you can't sleep, that's okay. Use it to your advantage. Bye!